Now, most of you have never heard of Dave Keeling, which is just fine with me. And don't take this personally, but being here talking to you is not my idea of a good time. I'm here because I love this planet. I had a family, children, grandchildren, and I loved them deeply. Still do. So I can't stand quietly by and watch everyone and everything I care about, including our civilization, suffer a grueling, painful, completely unnecessary catastrophe. There's nothing inherently evil about CO2. Relatively speaking, there's really not that much of it in the air, way less than 1%. But ounce for ounce, it's very powerful stuff, like greed. Greed, speaking of the 1%. One day, around the 4th grade, we got a new teacher. This teacher began telling us that the phases of the moon were caused by eclipses. By the moon passing between the Earth and the sun. Huh? I was horrified. I raised my hand. She ignored me. Finally, she kept going. I couldn't stand it. I stood up. I said, "Miss Spencer, that's wrong. That's not true. You're talking about an eclipse. That's wrong." She gave me a look, told me to sit down and shut up. I always had a problem after that with ignorant people in positions of authority. You know, like Congress, for example. Remember the cigarette companies, Philip Morris and Friends, what they did in the 1950s? The tobacco industry created a phony research institute that issued official appearing reports about how there was no real evidence linking cigarette smoking with cancer, heart disease, emphysema. 9 out of 10 doctors smoke Camels. Remember that? 8 of them are dead. These are from tobacco industry documents, and this is a real quote. "Doubt is our product. Doubt. The industry's strategy does not require winning the debates it manufactures. It's enough to foster and perpetuate the illusion of controversy." Like greed, doubt is very powerful stuff. If you're looking for a reason not to believe something, try doubt. What's happening right now is that the Arctic is warming up twice as fast as the planet as a whole. In 30 years, since 1980, we've melted 80% of Arctic ice that was in place for about 125,000 years. The Greenland ice sheet covers 80% of Greenland, and it's melting. Unlike the Arctic ice, Greenland's ice is land-based. When it melts, sea levels will rise. Underneath the Arctic's permafrost is methane. Over a period of 100 years, methane is 20 times more powerful than carbon dioxide. Some of the permafrost is a mile thick, and it holds twice as much carbon as the atmosphere does right now. It isn't all going to melt at once, but one projection is we'll see a melting of about 10 feet of worldwide permafrost in this century. And there's also a tremendous amount of methane buried under the ocean floor. There's methane deposits there that have been held in place by permafrost lids. As the ocean warms up, these lids are beginning to leak. We're seeing methane chimneys now bubbling up off the coast of Arctic Siberia. What can we do? For 130,000 years, human beings, anatomically identical to us, with brains and native intelligence on a level with ours, lived on this planet. One generation followed another, and nothing ever changed. And then the climate changed. It warmed up. Sea levels rose, people came out of their caves, enjoyed the stable, relatively benign climate we've taken for granted for the past 10,000 years. Within 5,000 years, we had writing. First cities sprang up. All the advances that characterize modern civilization came about. Learning, science, the arts, medicine. The new climate was stable. It's been remarkably, uniquely stable for the past 8,000 years. It's the only climate we've known on the only planet we have. And we've had a civilized world because we've had a civilized, stable climate. And now we're in danger of losing it. It's said that humankind is on a journey from the caves to the stars. If so, it's been a journey fraught with challenges. And at each of them, we have overcome those who would lead us back to the caves, who would stop us, the fearmongers, the haters, the doubters, the liars. Today, it's the profiteers who would fill you with doubt and lull you to sleep, ask you to deny your very senses. We have the ability to face what confronts us. What is needed is the will.
The concept of global warming, which I think people politically have decided to call climate change.
Yeah, yeah.
Although we are now finding every year getting warmer, and some people are saying, oh, they did talk about global warming, didn't they?
Yes.
But I think what it needed was relevance. It needed relevance to our lives today.
Let's look at Keeling himself. Now, did he come up with this parts per million thing?
Oh no, that preceded him.
Yeah.
He knew nothing about carbon dioxide.
Oh, he didn't?
No, this is 1953. He surveyed the work that was, most of it was being done in Sweden. Matter of fact, all of it in Scandinavia.
Wow.
And he decided pretty quickly that it was totally disorganized. You know, they were taking readings all over the place, using different equipment, different technicians. And he came up with his own methodology, which was remarkably simple. First, you have to collect an air sample. So he invented a flask to do that. And then you have to measure it.
Yep.
And he discovered this thing called a manometer and adapted it, and that was it. He was off and running.
One of the great things about the guy, and it's something many people I think identify with, is what drove him west and what drove him into science was his love of the outdoors, particularly mountains.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was he liked the science in nature.
Oh yeah.
Indeed.
Which all of us do really.
Sure.
When we're young, that's when we first understand that, hey, you know, you go to a river, or you go to the beach, or you you make that connection automatically, and it arouses. You know, what makes this happen? How does this work?
Yeah.
And that's where it starts.
He didn't realize though right away that the CO2 was going up. That was could be a problem. And then he discovered quickly that all the afternoon readings showed the same number, 310 ppm. He went all over California, all over the West, even on the East Coast. Everywhere it was the same number.
Hawaii too?
Yeah.
When he eventually went to.
Oh, sure. It's the same all over the planet.
Yeah.
And that was a startling discovery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could it be that the number is the same all over the world?
Yeah.
And if so, what does that mean? Well, what we found out is it means that it's rising and that we are in danger as a result of that rise.
And of course, just like any other scientific study, it takes years to really have enough data to be able to project forward, which is what he did. And he did this during the course of the 1950s and 1960s, correct?
He did it the rest of his, for the next 50 years. He did it until his death in 2005.
Oh, really?
He discovered or came up with the idea of investigating how to get old oxygen out of ice cores.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
The permafrost?
Yeah.
He was also involved in that?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Really?
He was
I did not.
wow. Around 1980.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, they discovered there were bubbles inside the ice cores. They'd never been able to get inside. There was CO2 in there. And they analyzed the CO2. They discovered an almost perfect correlation between CO2 and temperatures. In the past, thousands of years ago, as CO2 levels went up, temperatures went up with them. As they went down, same story. Temperatures went down. So he realized, and it sounds bizarre, but CO2 acts like a thermostat.